Hey Edwin, so this is just to cover the automations like we discussed. I'm just gonna run through a couple of our main automations that are built out, and because there is still work to be done within these. I mean, I think as long as we're building and continuing to push forward to increase your sales, I don't imagine a time that we'll ever truly feel like we can't continue to build on these. I mean, I guess you could look at that two ways, but I think the nature of always improving is exactly that, where we're going to continue to be building and tweaking wherever we can and testing new areas. So our first and our main automation is going to be first touch. And so from the moment that a form comes in or a Facebook well, I guess, yeah, a form, whether it's through Facebook, the website, or the 3D builder, it comes through here. And then it updates, if there's an existing opportunity, it updates it. If not, it creates it. And then this is a recent adjustment we made on here because for some reason, and I'm not quite sure yet, but for some reason with the Facebook, with a few specific Facebook leads that came through, every single additional time that they would message back on Facebook, it would trigger all of the automations in this campaign to like another time. So like it would send them the welcome text and the initial email too. And so until I'm able to or we're able to identify what exactly is causing that, I put a little if else statement in here to make sure that if the stop autonomy tag is added, it goes ahead and just removes them from the workflow, assuming that this is their second or third time messaging back, and they're once again getting the automations. Irene can just add this tag, and it will kick them out of this workflow. Otherwise, if there's no stop autonomy tag added, it goes over to okay, is this a phone lead? And then if it is not, it continues the automation. As in, uh, actually, you know what? I'm trying to remember what I believe this is in the circumstance where we've had a call in, but then they're put into the CRM manually, but then they go on the 3D builder and start building out a shed after the fact. That way, Irene can add this tag to them so that they don't get a welcome text after we've already talked to them. And then here, yeah, so this checks for scheduled calls. And then, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm racking my brain trying to remember exactly when I added this. But in the meantime, this is where the automation is going to continue on. And so if it is in the sent quote stage, it is going to once again take them out of this workflow. There we go. Sorry, my trackpad wouldn't zoom out. And then otherwise, it's going to still continue on. If it is after 5 p.m. on a weekday, or, well, yeah, if it's after 5 p.m. on a weekday, they get a specific text that corresponds to that. And then if it's a weekend or after 12 p.m., actually, I think this might be wrong. If current day of the week is weekend and time, okay, so yeah, if it's the weekend and it's after 5 p.m. or after 12 p.m., they're gonna get a text saying we'll basically reach out to you on Monday. That's the one difference in there. And then there is if none of these are true, then it's going to continue on because at that point we're still open, whether it's the weekend or the weekday or a weekday. From there, they get this welcome text. It waits 5 minutes. If they don't respond, and yeah, if they don't respond, it carries down into this flow, and it notifies the agent the contact owner to go ahead and call them. And then if they do respond, it takes them out of the workflow and puts them into the 14-day workflow. And this one I need to finish out actually. That's something that it's not full for the 14 days. I am Well, I think it'll be good for you to get in here and make these adjustments, tailor it a little bit more to be oriented around whether it's the verbiage in here or just the cadence and how you talk to customers and make it a little more personalized. But I did try to make it as non-generic as possible in the meantime. And then, so this is just checking for a tag though, right? So if there's no tag, that's going to continue on. And then if there is a reply tag, it also will take them out of this workflow and put them into the 14-day. So it kind of covers all your bases there and has little tiny differences to try to tailor as much as possible. And then after 2 hours, it is going to check again for another reply tag. If there's no reply tag, it is going to, once it's going to check if it's after 3 p.m. yet. If it is, it's going to notify the customer that we'll give them a call tomorrow, and that if there's a good time to let them know. Otherwise, if it's not after 3 p.m. yet, it's letting them know we're going to call them again later today. And then from there, just waits the appropriate amount of time and continues on. And so that's kind of what continues to go on through this automation for the next 2 days, where it's just, okay, let's try to get the customer to respond. Let's make a visible effort so that way that they see we're trying to cater to their schedule, and through texting them, with specific, just texting them and asking them when it's going to work best for them, and trying to keep that consistent throughout these messages. And just trying to keep a warm and positive approach without getting too into the details. And then on the third day, we have a message that says, "Hey, what's holding you up? I hope you don't mind my forwardness, but I often find concerns or questions that clients have are usually quick solutions and answers. Is it a matter of sizing? We have a variety. Is it a matter of pricing? We offer." Oh, we might need to take this out. Let me know. Actually, I'm going to take this out about the 0%. This may be a message that you want to tailor a little bit more. I don't know if I even like this last line in here actually, but I'm just going to take out the 0% APR for now. Anyhow, and so after this, ideally, they'll either after